stronghold that contains great potential to provide a better tomorrow. Being the future of the church and nation, youth must be encouraged, supported, and empowered to fully realize their potential. However, due to various factors, youth involvement in the church has significantly dropped. Hi there, welcome to our program. My name is Joshua Van Slijkman, and I'm happy to be joined by Roxanne Douglas, the currently youth coordinator of the Diocese of Georgetown, a woman where youth is at the center of her heart, and she's always been active in youth ministries, not only in the youth office but in her very own parish. Roxanne, welcome to our program. It's our privilege to have you.
Thank you, Joshua.
Good. So, I think I did say some things about you, but I think our listeners and viewers will want to hear something more in depth. So, could you briefly tell us something about yourself?
What is there to tell? I mean, I have been around and partly most of my life has been around the church. And I'm no stranger to many of our viewers and parishes. I've been around several parishes. But personally, I'm just a simple, quiet, easygoing person. I'm in love with nature, and I'm always at all about God's creation. And I like people. And one of my greatest passion is to be there and to know that I can do something for at least, even if it's one person, that I can do something to help to make a difference in someone else's life.
Now, for the past 3 months or more, the majority of you would have seen or heard about a youth plan that has been circulated. Now, you have questions, you want to know what is the youth plan all about. So, Roxanne will tell us more about this youth plan. So, first question, why does the church need a youth plan?
For the viewers to be a bit more clear on the reason why we have a youth plan, it's since I took office in March last year, and I was in constant dialogue with Bishop as to what can the youth office do, what can we do about the youths in our diocese and their participation, as well as their role in the church, their active role, that is. So the bishop had a discussion with a few of his consultants, and from that discussion, the idea, actually there was a report there before in 2013 from the Diocesan Assembly, where we had over 12 youths from various parts of the diocese. They came together, and at that time, that was in the year of faith 2012, they highlighted some of the issues that were affecting youths then. And they came up with some possible solution. How can we help youths to be more active in the church? So the idea of a youth plan isn't something that came up now. You can safely say it was there before, because these issues that were highlighted in 2012, when we did our discussions last year, it's the same issues we're hearing from youths, as well as parish elders, leaders in the parishes, and from discussing with other diocesan departments too. You're hearing the same thing, and there is always a cry that youths are not actively involved in the parish. Yes, so back to the question as to why the church needs a youth plan. I'm quite sure most persons in the diocese are aware of the lack of youth participation. And it could be for several reasons why they're not participating. And some of those were highlighted in the youth plan document. So, for us to move forward, we felt after discussing about the various issues and what can possibly happen, that we just cannot do any programs or seminars or whatever workshop and just without some sense of direction. So that's why the youth plan came into being, so that we have something where not just the youths on the coast are aware of our whatever we are planning for them, but it should be throughout the diocese. And we involve youths throughout the diocese. So this document here is meant to be a general document that youths throughout our diocese will be partaking.
As the youth coordinator, share the highlights of the youth plan. Do you think it will help the young people of our diocese?
The whole idea behind it is to build mainly on their faith, their leadership, and that will eventually help them in active participation in the church. So we looked at 3 areas mainly. Those that have interest, those that is interested but not having support, whatever support that they need, and those that are willing to do things but for whatever reason they face challenges, they face difficulties in doing whatever they are willing to do. So we have various programs. There are things that we can do that are in the plan that they can do within their parish, as well as events that they can do with a group of parishes coming together, or throughout the diocese where the youth office, along with other diocesan departments and ministries, we will coordinate together and we do programs for them. So highlights of it, we know that there are some programs that were done previously and it has worked, like the Bible quiz. We are still having that. We have the games. We also have the annual youth camp that we do every year, and that has been successful. We can safely say that. And this year, and also the youth week. So we are looking at other things like workshops, seminars, even youth forum, and simple things that parishes can do together to help to build that relationship between the youth and the leaders, because that seems to be one of the challenges that youths are facing, and even with some elders when you talk with them too, there is a sort of a gap between the youths and the adults. So if we are encouraging parishes to have sessions or even movie night, some kind of community activity that the youths and the older people in the parish, they can all come together, look at something or share some time or have some sort of discussion. They can even have discussion with things that are affecting youths, which we know, everyday issues like drugs and even finance management. All of these things youths need guidance on. So these activities can actually be done within the parish. And we're hoping that mainly that the parish can buy into these things and help our youth, because it's easy for us to say, they are not, all the nots and all what they are not doing and all that they can do. But sometimes if we just take a little time out and give some sort of support or some sort of guidance, it can make a whole big difference.
So, another part, at the beginning I read a part of the youth plan, and it goes on to say that this is the goal of the youth action plan: to plan and implement a foundation on which youth can build on and facilitate for the current and next generation to come, for youths to find their faith and identity. This plan does not only reach out to Catholics, but those afflicted and associated, as well as anyone else who needs support. The plan addresses the 3 major issues within the Church's body: disinterest, Interests, however, lack in support and resources, and those willing and able but face adversity. So the youth board has discussed and collected feedbacks from varying parishes throughout youth representatives on the issue, and this building block will be planned for the next 5 years, from which effects take place within the first year. Many long-term benefits arise from the plan and create more opportunities afterwards. It has been realized that we cannot cater for every youth. However, we can provide resources and opportunities. This is just a part of the youth plan, and we are in our draft system. Soon the youth plan will be out.
There are different areas that parishes can look at and see where their needs are, and they can take from that and implement it in their parish. So it's a document that was done on a, we look at the overall issues throughout the diocese. However, each parish, you don't have to take the document in its entirety and try to implement everything. You can't do everything at the same time. And it's a plan that we look at that can actually work for the next 5 years. So if you take a little bit this year and you work on that and you try to improve the lives of youth, then next year you look at something else, and the parish can look at it in their own. Each community has its own differences, it has its own challenges and whatever, but they just need to apply to whatever their needs are.
So you've heard about the highlights. You've heard why the church needs a youth plan. So it comes now to this question: do you have support of the church as it relates to this youth plan?
That I can say, I mean, you're putting me in a spot here. It's kind of yes and no, sort of. Because why I say that? Yes is that there are a lot of persons who are very supportive. I mean, you talk to priests and religious and leaders and even families, youths themselves, and they all embrace and they said, yes, we need this, we should do this, and so forth. But sometimes it comes down to a no, because the challenges that we're facing right now at the youth office is to have, we know that with everything we need communication. Communication is a key.
Yeah.
So we can plan, we can coordinate, we can organize, we can do all that the youth office is capable of doing. However, when we do these trainings and workshops and seminars and all these activities, what happens with the youth? What are they going to do with whatever they would have learned? They need to put it into practice. They need to give up their time of this service and so. So for the challenge that we have been getting for the past few months is to have that connection between the youth office and the parish. And we have tried several ways and several means in getting as we call it, a youth short that would represent the parish, so that the youth office can meet with these persons. We can discuss our plans. They can give feedback based on their parish community needs. We can all work together, because we don't want to make plans for things that would not be effective in a parish. Each parish have their own needs and each parish have their own dynamics. So unless we get feedback from those parishes, then what are we really doing? So in that sense, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't put it as a no, but it's a bit not so as I would like it to be. Because we really need that link, and we really need that communication between the parishes.
So you want to know more about this youth plan. we cannot discuss it. We can't discuss the entire document on this program. But if person do desire of having a copy of the youth plan, where can they get one from?
First, the youth plan, the document that we have at present, it is in its drafting stage. It's not complete because we did leave it open for other communities that did not get to contribute in whatever way. And even if there is, whichever parish or group of persons that think that there is something that youths need to take part in that would benefit them in some sort of way, we are open to their suggestions and their proposals. So the document that we have, it's in its drafting stage. However, we have it available. It's at the youth office. Persons can contact me on the youth office number 231-8249 or email rcyouthguyana@gmail.com, and we will be highlighting some of those proposals that we have in the Catholic Standard in subsequent editions. But like I said, it's in its drafting stage, and we're still working on it.
So you might ask the question, is Roxanne alone working on this youth plan? But I tell you what, no. Could you tell us, if you call names, you might forget someone and persons might feel left out, but she can't remember all the names who are working on the plan off her hand. But if you can tell us the key persons who are involved in crafting this youth plan.
We have approximately 13 youths from various parishes. Yourself, you are one of those persons. We have Mr. Lawrence Latchman Singh too, who has volunteered his service. We have Rob Bihari, myself. We also have input from the youth board, the board members, and we are having other input from even parishioners when you discuss. But in terms of youth, we have youth from East Coast, we have Joanna, we have from East Bank, Ronald. From the West Bank, we have Jerome Payne. We have from Central Georgetown, yourself from Pius, Adrian, Gibeon. We have from Sacred Heart, Rose, and Fatima, Ashley, as well as Tashana. We have from Meadowbank, Lisa Brotherson. So we have a wide cross-section of youths from the coastal areas, and we were trying to get input from youths in the interior location too. So that is something we're still working on, and we're still open to suggestions from those areas. However, myself and Rock, we will be visiting the Region 1, Santa Rosa area next weekend. So we are hoping to meet with some youths there and get a feedback from them and have some input from them.
So you see, it's as she said, it's a wide cross section of youths coming together with their different gifts and talents to bring out a youth plan that would not only be implemented to those 13 young people that are sitting on the board, but it will be to every young person throughout our Diocese of Georgetown. And in the introduction, it also states that it will not only cover persons who are Catholics, but even persons who are non-Catholics.
Yeah.
And Santa Rosa, do look out for your visit soon with Roxanne and Rock Bihari. And our last question as it pertains to the youth plan. After this youth plan has been implemented, we finish the draft part, and we go into the real part, so to speak. After everything has been done, it has been launched and everything, what next?
Implementation.
Implementation.
And that's very important, and that's where we need the support of all the parishioners for the entire diocese. If we are going to see youths being more actively involved, if we are going to see our church growing, if we're going to see us, being proud of our rich Catholic faith, then we need to support, we need to embrace it. And, not just to have us, we don't want it to be a case where we have a document, we have everything written, and then nothing. So implementation is very important, and it will take some sacrifice, it will take some hard work, some time, but together, if we all put our heads, our hands, our hearts and everything together, I don't see why we cannot be able to even, let's be real, we may not be able to reach every youth. We may not be able to change every youth. We can change people. With God's grace and God's help, we know He can do the changing part of it. But we just cannot sit down and complain and do nothing. We can try. And I'm sure all of us can try.
So, viewers and listeners, I do encourage you to, in your respective parishes, do support the youth plan. If you cannot reach the youth office, contact your parish priest, your parish youth representative, or any of the names Roxanne mentioned if you are in that parish, the names of the young people that are helping with the youth plan. And do feel free to call the youth office on the number she gives you, 231-8249, or email them on rcyouthguyana@gmail.com. If you don't know where the youth office is, it's located at Our Lady of Fatima Presbytery building. That's on North Road and Shiv Jajapal Drive. Lastly, on our interview with the youth coordinator, as youth coordinator, what would be your message to the young people, who may be experiencing social issue, and second of all, why should they remain active in church? Two very powerful message, I suppose.
My message to young people, first and foremost, don't give up. Life is not easy. It's not going to be smooth sailing for anyone, because even I myself, I have been through a lot of difficulties and challenges in my life, but you hold on to God and you be faithful and you trust Him. Believe me, He's going to put persons there, He's going to put situations there that can help you in these difficult times. Be strong in your faith. Don't give up, and try as much as possible to learn more, to grow more. Don't just sit and wait. I would, the next thing, apart from don't giving up, don't sit still. Be active. Go out. Try to do something. The Bible is there. You can read that. There are so many other documents in the church, the Catechism of the Church. There are so many other resources available. Don't sit idle and wait. Do something for yourself.
So you've heard directly from the mouth of the youth coordinator herself, Miss Roxanne Douglas. As I said earlier, a woman where she's everything for youths. So every time you try to sit with her, the conversation always be youths, and these are persons we want to remain and to be instrumental to young people. And there might be some more persons like Roxanne, but I do encourage you to talk to a young person. You might save their life, you might change your life. You never tell. So on that note, I thank Roxanne for being a part of our interview, and we do hope that we are able to sensitize you as it pertains to the youth plan, and also give you a message to our young people out there to know that you're not alone, you're precious, and you're loved by everyone throughout this beautiful world of ours. And as I always like to say whenever I do interviews to young people, say no to suicide. My name is Joshua Van Slyke on behalf of Catholic Media, saying thank you.